Hey, what's up? My name's Ruby and let's have a look at what's in the news today. Today we are celebrating 30 years of the World Wide Web. It's kind of hard to imagine life without internet these days, but not that long ago, it wasn't even a thing.
There was a time when this was called surfing the web. You'd get your mouse and your big old computer and wait 20 minutes for a single picture to load. Things have changed a little since then. And we have this guy to thank, Tim Berners-Lee. See, while the internet already existed as a huge network of computers, on March 12, 1989, he proposed a system for sharing information on the internet, and he called it the World Wide Web. 2 years later, the first website was born. And isn't it boring? Thanks, Tim! Websites started popping up all over the world. BTN even got in on the act.
Our page on the World Wide Web.
It took a while, but pages got better and more interactive. We stopped calling it web surfing, and many of us have traded this for these. Today, there are almost 2 billion websites. Half the world's population is online, and the number of web surfers is still growing. Cowabunga, dude. I've always wanted to say that.
A number of airlines around the world have stopped using their Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes for the time being. That's the type of plane that crashed in Ethiopia recently. Investigators are trying to find out what caused it, and they've just found the black box. That's a piece of equipment that records the flight instrument details and the voices of the pilots, which will hopefully give them some answers. Captain Marvel has been smashing heaps of records at the box office. It's raked in more than $600 million already, making it the biggest debut for a movie with a female director and the biggest debut for a movie starring a cat, which is not surprising given how cute Goose is.
Aren't you the cutest little thing?
Among the movie's massive audience was Captain Marvel herself, who rocked up to a local cinema in the US and even helped serve popcorn.
I just heard that I was on the cups and popcorn and I wanted to see for myself.
We've known for a while now that the stuff we humans get up to has a big effect on animals all over the world, and often it's not positive. But what about animals in a pristine environment like Antarctica? Well, Emma spent some time there recently finding out.
They're little, fluffy, and apparently not too bright. But these Adelie penguins are really important. Just ask Phoebe. She's a researcher and has spent the last few months taking samples to see if the penguins are being affected by humans.
This season the research I'm working on is looking at man-made chemicals that might be accumulating in the penguins, things that are affiliated with plastic and sort of electronics and the kinds of things that we'll find on station.
She's taken samples from the penguins' blood, eggs, poo, and the soil around their nests. She's trying to find out how all of this is related to the Antarctic environment.
As you probably already know, when one species is in trouble, that can have an effect on the other species in the same environment.
So if Phoebe finds things like plastics or chemicals in the penguins, well, that could end up in our bodies, because some of the fish found here is actually sold and eaten in Australia. See, I told you these little guys were important.
And finally today, we are checking out some fancy footwork. These guys are using their fancy footwork to pull off some amazing tricks at a storm chase event in Ireland. Windsurfing is an extreme sport, even when you're not doing it during a thunderstorm with a wind chill below 0 degrees. The competitors are in the water for about 20 minutes at a time.
I'm not used to cold water, and it takes a lot of energy out of you and makes your arms, like my arms is really stiff. It's hard, but it's fun.
Have you ever tried solving a Rubik's Cube with your feet? 16-year-old Daniel holds the record for doing it the fastest, and now he's teaching visitors how to do it at a Rubik's Cube exhibition in New York. And finally, these guys need some fancy footwork to dodge all of these flower bombs. This is the crazy and very colourful Flower War Festival in Greece. The custom dates all the way back to 1801 when, the story goes, people in this town protested against a ban on carnivals by painting their faces with ash and dancing through the streets. And that's the show for today, guys. And tell us, have you seen Captain Marvel? What did you think? Do you think that its success might mean that we see more girls and women leading big movies? Let us know in the comments, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.